Good morning to those who are here this morning. If you'd like to go ahead and put your name, title, and where you're from in the chat, it'd be great to see who's here. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Vanessa and Kathy. Great to see you both. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. It is 8:45, but if you can continue to put your name, title, and where you're from in the chat as we get started, that would be awesome. My name is Tanya Bulette, and I am the counseling coordinator for the San Diego County Office of Education, and excited to offer this new series on San Diego students staying classy and getting to know more of our two-year colleges outside of the service areas where your students go to school. So excited to share with you today information from San Diego City College. And this morning we have Clarissa Padilla here. She is the acting outreach coordinator for San Diego City College. So I'm going to turn it over to her to get started. So welcome, Clarissa, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. I appreciate everyone being here. Those of you that are here live, if you could stick in the chat a community college either that you went to or you had a family go to or you heard of, it's really important that we increase the information on accessibility for community colleges to our students. One of the number one things that a lot of our underrepresented students experience is the fact that they're not eligible to go straight to a four-year university, and they don't know that many of their teachers or counselors actually did start off at a community college. I personally did as well. I'm seeing some folks saying Palomar, Grossmont, Southwestern. That's wonderful. If you guys, when you're meeting with your students, if you could just amplify that story, it can be really inspirational for some of our students who don't feel like they are college ready. So my name is Clarissa Padilla. I'm the acting outreach coordinator at City College in our outreach and community relations area. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about City College. I apologize, my lighting. It's really the sun that decides whether it wants to be around at the moment. So hopefully we can continue on. So City College is located right in downtown San Diego. I know that seems like it's going to be difficult to get to, but it's actually right off the freeway. So it's a quick drive. You're able to get right into parking and get started in school. So City College offers many options, whether it's just developing a skill or getting just a career certification, or if a student is interested in a transfer career pathway. So keep in mind that it doesn't have to be just one thing. It could be all of these things at the same time. A student can start just exploring a skill, realize that they want to get a career certification. They can get started in their career, complete additional units for transfer, and continue with their education. One of the great things about the certificate programs is that they're very specific and focused, and they can be short term. So a lot of times students can complete these certificates in less than a year or a year and a half. So that really will get them straight into the workforce, and it's specific to whatever that program is, so they don't have to take additional units in other areas. Some of the great career skills and certificates that we have include record or bookkeeping, which is an introduction to accounting. One that I really like to emphasize is our HVAC program. So a lot of students will go to for-profit colleges. So it's really important that we continue to amplify the fact that many of these career certificates can be accessed at our community college systems. Some fun ones include game programming, exploring entrepreneurship, doing video production. Machining is a very, very popular program that we have. I just went on a tour yesterday, and the instructor let us know many of these students have job offers before they even finish the program. So if you want to encourage your students to do that, that would be fantastic. We also have alcohol and other drug counseling programs, mental health, social work, graphic design, journalism, and one of our most popular programs is cosmetology. We also offer nursing, which is highly impacted, and I believe that the application for that is already closed for next year. Another option is, like I mentioned, the traditional associate's degree or associates for transfer. An ADT is known as associate's degree for transfer, and that often is associated with a guaranteed transfer admission into a particular CSU or UC. So these include going through general ed and focusing on a major. A lot of times they're able to complete that pre-major work, and they could just transfer it over to whatever CSU or UC they want to continue in. As you all know, continuing your education can be very expensive. So one of the wonderful things about community college systems is that they're very affordable. Students have a $2 student representation fee, a $20 health fee, and then each unit is $46. So you'll see that each semester is about $500, and they can attend a whole year for about $1,000. Now, we do still offer financial aid. Students do have access to the Pell Grant. We welcome Dreamers. Our undocumented students are very welcome at our campuses. So you can complete the DREAM Act to receive funding. We also have the Cal Grant, the California College Promise Grant, and the California College, the Community College California Promise Grant. I know that those can be a little bit confusing. The San Diego Community College District was one of the first programs to offer a promise. So it's a little bit different in each community college system. Any student that is eligible for the Community College San Diego Promise in our sister campuses, which include City, Mesa, and Miramar, they would just go through the same process. It's one application. Now, if students are granted the San Diego Promise, they must be a recent high school graduate. They can't take a gap year. They must be able to apply for financial aid, or they need to fill out their AB 540 if they're undocumented. That's just an affidavit that allows undocumented students to receive in-state tuition. They will then complete their FAFSA and their DREAM Act, and they must enroll for 12 units every semester, unless a student has a disability, and that can include an IEP or a 540 plan, and then the student will receive an academic accommodation. So like I mentioned earlier, it will offer 2 years of free tuition, and the health fee is covered. However, we do not cover student parking or any other representation fees. So another great thing about our Promise program is that it is a cohort of students. They all receive additional workshops and activities, as well as peer mentors and counseling. So when a student is eligible for Promise, their fees go down dramatically. So all they have to do is pay that $2 representation fee. Now, I know a lot of you already know a lot about the community college systems and City College. So what I really wanted to focus on in this presentation was the measures that we're taking in the COVID-19 world. So we are open. We are having classes on campus and services in person already. We're going to increase those in-person course offerings next spring semester. And additionally, we're hoping for a normalized fall if possible. And we're going to increase our counseling support services, our financial aid. Our welcome center is open. If you're interested in coordinating a campus tour, please contact me. I'll have my contact information at the end of the presentation. We are going to start offering those on-campus tours to let students know what we have to offer. Now, I know that during the pandemic, a lot of students have been struggling with their academics, whether you're in a local school or in a school outside of San Diego County. We understand that students have had very difficult challenges inside the classroom, outside the classroom, because we are experiencing a global pandemic. So they might be underprepared, or they might have some gaps in their academic career at the high school level. So I really want to emphasize the support services that we have for those students when they get to City College. So one of the fantastic things that City College has is its learning communities. And these learning communities are cohort-based. They really emphasize developing rapport and relationships with their peers, counselors, and faculty members. The immogia program that we had is designed to assist our African-American students and other underrepresented students who desire to transfer to a four-year university. This is a very comprehensive program. It offers mentoring. They have math jam tutoring sessions. That's very exciting. They develop workshops in which the students experience more about the African American culture, and they have field trips. They do community service. The immogia program really emphasizes the need of community and building each other up. Another program we have is Puente. Puente is another academic preparation program. It's been around for over 25 years. It started at HUBU College. And this program is designed to help transfer students to prepare and transfer to four-year colleges and university in a timely manner. So another thing that they emphasize is the Latinx and Chicano experience. And some eligibility requirements include that they must be enrolled in English 101 or English 101X. English 101X provides additional supports and built-in tutoring for students who may be a little bit behind in English. And they must be able to continue full-time. You'll see a lot of these programs require full-time participation, full-time load, because that actually helps students. When students are on track with the full load, they're able to stay on track and graduate sooner. Another fantastic program we have is HUBU, Hermanos Unidos, Brothers United. It's a movement of brotherhood that embraces and validates our young men as they are to develop them into future leaders in their communities. This has a very comprehensive support as well. They help with orientation, assessment, and financial aid. And once they're nearing their academic end at City College, we do emphasize career and education planning for after. They each have a personal career and academic counselor. They take cohort classes together. So they take personal growth along with a math course and then Black Studies along with an English course so that the curriculum is infused in both courses. We really want to support our African American and Latinx students here to express a deeper understanding of what their identities are and what their cultural histories are as well. In addition to these cohort learning communities, we have extended support services. I think it's really important to emphasize these. We have a lot of students that start off at City College and have no idea that they were eligible or have access to these programs and services. So EOPS is for our first generation low income students. This program will allow them to have priority registration, additional counseling, ed planning, workshops, a small book grant, and supplies. Next Up is designed specifically for our former foster youth, and they need to be recent high school graduates or under the age of 26. This as well will give them additional grants, counseling, priority registration, and workshops. The Next Up program is fairly new. What's really great about it is that they want to foster a sense of community and belonging for our former foster youth. CalWorks is a program for single parents who are receiving aid. And this program really connects their academic journey with career occupations. So there's additional supports for childcare. There's a childcare stipend that's involved. They provide funding for books and materials. Our DSPS program is really wonderful. It provides additional counseling and accommodations for students who have disabilities. Now, disabilities can be a physical disability, it can be a mental health condition, or it can be a medical condition that they may have. Like I mentioned earlier, students who have IEPs or 540 plans can move that over into the community college system. It won't be identical as what's set out in the K-12 system, but there are additional supports such as extended times on tests and quizzes. If a student needs a recorder in class, if they need a particular chair or table, those are accessible through our DSPS program. Like I mentioned before, our dreamers are very welcome at City College. We have a SUBID center, and that provides specialized services for our undocumented or mixed status students. Mixed status students include students who may be documented but have family members, say parents or older siblings, who are not documented. So there's a lot of struggles and anxieties that our undocumented and mixed status students experience. So we provide the support services through our Dreamer centers. Now, City Scholars is very specific to our justice impacted students. So students who have experienced run-ins with juvenile hall or have had family members that have been justice impacted. It provides another layer of support and community for those students. Another thing that we want to emphasize to our students, athletes, if they want to continue their athletic careers, we do have those options at City College. Women's sports do include badminton, basketball, beach volleyball, cross country, soccer, softball, and tennis. Our men's sports do include baseball, basketball, cross country, soccer, and tennis. In addition to sports, we have a plethora of clubs and activities that students can get involved in. One great thing that we really like to emphasize as City is like, we want you to stay there on campus. So take your classes, join a sport, join a club, get an on-campus job. The more you're at City, the more successful you'll be. So if you want additional information, please feel free to reach out to us. Here's our contact information. My contact information is, let me type it in the chat, cpadilla@sdccd.edu. And I'm seeing, yes, the 540 plan is the same as the 504 plan. I was inverting it with our AB 540 affidavit. Thank you for that, Vanessa. Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions at this time?
Are there any questions that you would like to add to the chat? I'm not sure if you can come off mute, but if you want to, you can do that as well.
Ladies, we actually do have one from Ms. Anna HUBU. What is the most realistic way to get a counseling appointment? My understanding is that times are only released at 12 a.m. and 5 a.m.
We are going through a challenge with getting counseling appointments. We're going to be using a new system for students to access because of that. So that's currently in the works. If you have a student who's had challenges, please feel free to email me and I will try to redirect them.
Thank you. And then we also have another one. What are the age requirements for Next Up when in foster care?
So they could be 18, but the oldest they can be is 26. And I'm seeing another one. Yes, our esthetician and cosmetology program is currently open.
There's a question. After I help students apply to City College and they get their ID numbers, what is the next step for them?
Perfect. Let me give you the link because we actually have what's known as City Steps. So we would always want them to complete their financial aid and complete the orientation and then get started with a counseling appointment. So there's several pathways. I'll enter that into the chat. Oh, I keep sending it to the wrong folks. Sorry about that.
And then we have, I cannot find out online when the spring semester starts.
The spring semester will start the last week of January. That's traditionally when it is.
And then many of our dual enrollment high school students take PERG 120. Is it true that this inhibits them from participating in Puente and other similar organizations when attending San Diego City as a freshman?
So they cannot take both courses at the same or duplicate the course. So that is true. I'm not sure what the exploration has been on exceptions for that. But if I can get that question, I will follow up with that.
Yes, it was by Allison Fleck.
Wonderful.
Another question, is registration already open for next year?
No. Not yet. So our application will open in the spring, but registration, so like in October and November, students can register for spring classes. But for the next fall, registration will open around June. Actual registration will open around June.
Great questions, everyone. Are there any more? Well, I do know that Clarissa has a raffle So would you like to share what you're raffling off?
Thank you so much for reminding me. We have 2 San Diego City College water bottles to raffle off. These are those really cool dual pane stainless steel ones. So I have 2 to raffle off. I'll be giving them to Tanya to send out once we identify who those winners will be.
All right. So Zarette, would you like to pick 2 people from our participant list? And then once she says your name, if you could, and she's going to put her email address into the chat, if you could send your mailing address to Zarette, she will make sure that you get that sent off. So drum roll, please, Zarette.
We have Juan Orozco. Congratulations.
Juan.
Yay. And I have a Valerie Hash. Congratulations.
Yay. And the crowd goes crazy. All right. So if you could both make sure to get your addresses to Zarette, we will get those sent off. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And you have Clarissa's contact information. I know that it's always important to have someone you could reach out to. So now you have someone as a resource. And we will post this recording as well as all of her materials on the SDCOE School Counselor webpage. Just give us a couple of days to get all of those materials put together, so you can look for that. It probably will be up next Monday. That's my goal. All right. Well, thank you so much, Clarissa, for your time. And I hope you all have a great day. And please come back. We have 3 more sessions from the colleges in our San Diego City College system. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you all. Bye.